Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Bit deflated today. Are we a bit deflated today? I am a little bit. My internet's a bit dodgy as well today. It's all happening. Anyway, it's Friday. It's Friday. Dust ourselves off and go again, as they say. Dust ourselves off and go again. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. Give it a bloody good subscribe. Why don't you? Obviously, yesterday wasn't meant to be. I mean, it's only half time. Which I have to keep saying to myself. It's only half time. I'm not used to all this two-legged affair, in all honesty. So, frustrating, very frustrating. But we'll get there eventually. We'll get through. Anyway, dust us off. We're going to do what we usually do on these things. We do a debrief. We'll go through Moyes' comments yesterday, his post-match conference, which was quite interesting. We'll go through the play ratings and all that type of stuff. We had once again, we had thousands of 60,000 people at London Stadium watching the game. I think it was 1,000 Lyon fans, and 59,000 West Ham fans. And obviously we had the light shows. We had Brian Deere and Sir Jeff Hurst on at half time. We had Tony busting out some tunes as well. It was a spectacle. It was a spectacle, which was, I think, ruined by a very poor referee. And we'll talk a little bit more about the referee later on today in the Hammers headlines, in terms of what West Ham might do in terms of appealing the red card. If we do appeal the red card, I do not know. But yes, we've got lots of people in the chat, which is great. Usual suspect referee equals money bags over there. The referee was a joke for match fixing. What a joke! Can't wait to get out the red card. Yeah, how many foul throws did he not give? I couldn't believe it. The one in the second half when he fouled the bloke's hand, and he still let him carry on. Wally, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Cross Hammers, hope you're well. 8th Barley, hope you're well. James is in the house. I just learnt. What was it? I just learnt the ref was. He was. Well, I don't think it was jailed. I think he was found guilty. I don't think it was jailed, but yeah, he was. And he referees a quarter-final match. There we go. Handpicked by UEFA. Irons from Toby, indeed. Ludders is in. Hope you're well, Ludders. Afternoon, happy Hammerats. I'm so frustrated. Corruption at its finest. Through all the shit, we still came over draw. Cheaters don't always prosper. Bring on France. And there was something interesting that Mr. Moyes said today about the winker. He said he hadn't seen a winking instant. And he said, football has a funny way of things coming round to bite you. Or something along those things. So, we'll see. All-out attack on Moussa Dembele by the sounds of it. English Yardy, hope you're well. Considering we're up against it. Yep, indeed. I'm proud of our boys. We're going to need to work hard on our left side and hope Soufal is good. Yeah, I think Ben will come in left side, won't he? And maybe Soufal, it depends. I thought Fredericks did okay yesterday. So, yeah, I thought he did all right, but we'll come back to it. Considering what was up against, I'm proud of our boys. Me too, Gaza. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. If it was one of their players that put his arm across Antonio, we'd be screaming for a red card. Of course it would be. Of course it would be. That's football, isn't it? You have two opposition views, and and in the same way that we were like, the ref has been so... Sometimes refs can be our way, but he was just so the other way. It was ridiculous. I said it on you should go and check it out. Me and Anton did a live reactions outside the ground. It was a very bizarre thing. We had the Austrian Irons turned up. We had Brian Deere walking past. There was a bloke having a wee next to us. It was all happening. And we were just talking about, the fact is that, everyone sort of thought that the Premier League was corrupt against West Ham ever getting to the top four. It seems UEFA don't want us to get in the semis, that's for sure. But it didn't seem like that. Afternoon, Budgie, hope you're well. World-class joke, not even fit to refs. Kids football, says James, and James would know. Anton's back from his trip, which is good. Dawson's a worry, he certainly is. Gonna drive now, you legends. I'll catch up. Cheers, Toby. Proud of our team. Immortalise them. Fredericks and Dawson, bloodied and bruised indeed. Tired, mate. 30 minutes and I'll be home. Oh, he's almost home. Almost home. Still feels like a win considering the odds were stacked against. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it is half time. It is half time this thing. I think you just got to remember that. Gaza, there's loads. You know, you look at the goal they scored. It should have been a foul on Bowen, arguably, before the goal, before we got to that place. But yeah, those fans running on the park. Apparently, the second was a Chelsea fan. For somehow that's been leaked. Somehow, I don't know. But ridiculous. That second one particularly, absolutely ridiculous. What was that after the game with the French person talking on the mic? So obviously what we do is we have to have. The away fans, the Lyon fans, were still sort of held back after the game for a while, so they were just sort of doing like a Tannoy announcement to tell them that they're being held back for that type of thing. So that was always can't see them getting. No, they'll be banned. Banned definitely from London Stadium games, so we'll see what happens with the rest of it, but we'll see. They should name and shame those idiots that ran. I'm sure their names will creep out eventually, unfortunately. That is social media. Right, let's go and talk about Moisey. Let's do the post-match press conference. It was quite interesting. So, thoughts on the game? Not a good performance, poor, but we showed good resilience with our performance when down to 10 men. And that was actually something that I was picking up on TalkSport on the way home from Jason Cundy. Moyes was really hard. I thought Moyes was maybe a little bit too hard on the team, personally, considering all things. But it shows that, you know, the level of expectation he's working towards. That he thought we had a really poor performance, and I thought actually it was a different type of performance rather than necessarily one which sort of, generated a win, but I thought it was a bit harsh personally, but anyway, in Moyes we trust. Thoughts on the red cards? All these are really short answers. Only thing I'm going to say is the tackle in the lead up on Jarrod was a foul in the same phase of play, so I expected that to be bartered into it. That's the disappointment for me. Thoughts on the referee? I'm certainly not going to talk about the referee. But scored again, another step forward. I think we started slow and did the rest. So did the rest of the team. We started very slow. Jarrod's the one getting in areas to score us goals. Good on him. We needed him. He's got 2 goals in a couple of games. We're pleased to have him back, and he's an important player to the team. Happy with how the players rallied. We didn't have much of the ball in the second half. We had to defend well against 11. They were technically very good, I felt, but we defended very well. It made it harder for them. We may have had more chances actually with 10 men than 11 at times. We had the ability to score and had one or two of those opportunities gone in. Happy with defending with 10 men. Part of football, isn't it? You have to be able to defend as well as attack. We done okay. First half was too fragmented, part of Lyon's game plan. I indeed agree with that. We've moved on from these soft free kicks in this country. Referees have moved on. They've tried to change it. The referees this season have been very good. I'm not accepting soft things, but the game never got a chance to flow from the very early stage. I totally agree. A level tie was yes, it's an away tie, a really difficult game in Lyon, but we expected that. The first leg is always a really difficult game. The game is very much to play for. At half time, I'd have taken that with the way we ended the first half. Spoke about dark arts before and the Dembele wink. I don't know. The only thing I'd like to focus on is the free kick on Jarrod. If it was given, I'd expected VAR to check that. That's what we do in the Premier League. It's in the same phase of play. And again, the fan invading the pitch, baffled. He goes, this is a really good football club, doing so many good things to improve, but those things tonight certainly didn't help the team. We were on a counter-attack at the time with an opportunity to score. Antonio had a big chance, lack of confidence, big chance in the second half particularly. He jumped over the keeper. He says, I didn't get a chance to speak to him, but I felt he should have made contact with the ball. We all had to play slightly differently tonight under the conditions. Maybe he felt pulling himself away was the safest thing to do. Possibly. Explanation for why no VAR? No, nothing at all. Can you appeal? I'm not discussing the red card. If they say it wasn't a free kick on Bowen, that's okay. If it was in the same sequence, I would have expected VAR to check that. And that was it. Literally, he was very... And even like today, if you listen to the Brentford one, nothing about that. Very classy. I think he's very classy. We thought a lot... We'd have said a lot worse, to be honest. Let's see what we got. It's infuriating to watch a match and see Graham and Ron on the pitch. It's a disgrace. Our players need to go to acting school. It's a joke. Well, as me and Anton were saying, it is like the dark arts. It's the European style of football, and we weren't awake to it. We're a bit naive to it, I think, but we haven't been in that situation before as the majority of the team. So that's how you play in Europe. That is literally how you play in Europe, and I think Lyon did a good job on the ref. You know, fair play to Lyon. They were a professional side in terms of they did a professional job on them. Yeah, anytime we had the ball, anytime there was any counter-attack and the ball had been taken in midfield, Dembele went down like a sack of potatoes. The man had about 6 or 7 miracles. You know, he was almost like he's broken his leg 6 times and he got straight back up. It was incredible. He's incredible. He must be a very religious man. But that's how they play. That's how the European teams play, and we weren't wise to it. I don't think. And I think we could. We're not set up to play them at their own game like that, in my opinion. Thought Frederick had a great game. We'll talk about the players in a minute. Good afternoon, Gatesy. I hope you're well. And the referee never darkens the football pitch again. West Ham shall overcome. We'll be the kings of Lyon. That was the first song I played yesterday. Hashtag just saying. They really played some nice touches, but didn't trouble. That's what I mean. They played some good football. They were technically a good side. You know, some nice ticky-tacky football around the outside, around the box, but they couldn't penetrate that box, could they? And even when they had to bring them, all of them. They had to bring Tete on. They had to bring on Kibambi. They had to bring them all on to try and... They went like 4 up front, and they couldn't break us down, which should give that West Ham team some really good positives. You know, they went down to 10 men and they couldn't break us down. They scored 1 goal, which was a deflection, and it was a lucky goal, I think, really, because it came off Ryan Fredericks' leg and it fell to Dembele. Who's the midfielder? You know, none of the strikers got a sniff, really, the whole game. Moussa Dembele should have scored maybe the first half. He had a really good chance right at the beginning, but not really much. I don't think Arietta had much to do. I love the fact we're such a hard-working, indeed. And if anything, it epitomised what a good side we are. The fact is, Moisey, the players, all very dignified. Sometimes I wish they'd be a bit more arsier, Almost, it's nice being the better team, but sometimes, you got to put yourself forward sometimes a bit more. So, Jim White said he is a top ref. Well, by FIFA standards, he is. And UEFA, that's why he was picked. Moyes, I totally agree. Moyes did hold himself very well. So proud of boys. Just relieved the ref didn't realise that. Exactly. And Deck's fine as well. Moyes would have been in trouble with the he was. Really did. You can see the anger and disappointment in his eyes, but he defo held back. Well, he did after he's burst out at half time when he got the yellow card, which I thought was quite funny. Do we get to bring our own ref? I wish. How is a match fixing allowed to... I don't know. I do not know. You see a lot of, in cricket and stuff, people who get done. That's it. They're out of the game for good. But, look, splitting hairs now, isn't it? It's happened. So, Dembele, he wasn't actually... Yeah, he was actually running towards the... He wasn't even cut inside. He was running towards... And if anything, we'll talk about the player ratings in a minute, but I think looking back at it again, Zuma stopped running a little bit. He was sprinting. He went to a jog. Therefore, Cresswell was technically the last man. Although Dembele was running away from the goal, but whatever. So actually, I think Zuma might have a little bit to do with that option. If he was running alongside at the same pace, he would have got a yellow card. He wouldn't have got a sending off. I'm pretty sure. The way Brian got thrown down and lead up was a disgrace. Players continued, indeed. Luke, good afternoon to you. We'll calm down. Yeah, come on. We still play. Fair play for playing unfairly. Fair play. Do you know what I mean? They fair play now isn't in my way isn't the whole idea of VAR is to eradicate things like that. But if it's not being used properly, that's not our fault. Lyon played the ref. They played the ref. They played how they would play. They disrupted the play, as the post-match said. It was fragmented. We never got into any rhythm because every time we did, someone got injured, but not a head injury, which I don't understand. I thought you played on apart from a head injury, but that rule seems to have, even in the Premier League, that's crept back in again a little bit. And even if the player's injured, sure, he has to go off and come back on again, So like Dembele, he's like... And like there was one in the second half, there was a throw on, and the guy, it fell out of his hands, and then the ref let him take it again. No, that's got to go back to the opposition. That's you've done a foul throw. It's like lets you fall out of your hands. It should go back to the opposition. What was annoying was that the ref added extra time for the Lyon waste team, and Crest got sent off in that same time, enabled all them simulations by not punishing them. Indeed, 8 minutes in the second half, mental. We were obviously the bigger people on the pitch last night. The whole team were impeccably behaved. We were. But sometimes I think you got to play them at your own game. Personally, if that's how you got, it's like if that's how. I don't know. We just have to be a bit more wise to it. But that kind of experience, we haven't played in this situation before. Even when we're playing like two legs, like Championship playoffs, they're the same team we've been playing all season. This is a different type of football. And I think actually, up until today, the refereeing for the previous group games and the Sevilla games has been really good. It's just this ref yesterday was appalling. Max Mercer was spud on loan indeed. Glad a few Tottenham friends messaged me. As always, Ian, absolutely disgraceful refereeing. West Ham playing against 12 men from the kickoff. That's what's in TalkSport. It's an EU fit up against an English team. Yep, we'll see. But I mean, you look at all the ties. It's only the Braga game where they're winning. Everything's drawn at the moment. It's all on knife edges. All the ties, even the Braga game, because she's taking back to Rangers, and Rangers are a great side, playing at home in terms of atmosphere. So every game, anyone can go through. Anyone can go through. We played 50 minutes down a man. Lyon should be concerned, to be honest. The pressure is on them to get a result. We weren't our defensive best. Dex played well, but reserved to me. I totally agree. In all my years, and that's a few years for Pete, I've been attending football games. That is by far the worst ref ever. UEFA must be happy and will do their best to help Lyon through. Give them pitch invaders lifetime bans, indeed. Still furious is Acid Jones. Plus Tete. Exactly, Tete shouldn't be allowed to play as well. Thank you, Premier League. Cheating all the way happened to West Ham. Not wanted as we are a top team. Where was VAR? No idea. Frank's in the house. Good afternoon to you, Frank. That ref needs his badge taken off him. On a positive note, Dawson was bloody brilliant. He was. Russ and Anton on you, Saint and Greavesy. You've heard it here first. If Barcelona go on to win it, how is that fair? They were given a second chance at the cherry. That needs to be stopped. That's something they were saying on TalkSport as well. In that, in that sort of the third place teams in the sort of the ones above drop in, and is that really fair? But I don't want to be one of them. Don't understand why. No, I thought Zuma thought that Cresswell was going to get there, so he slowed down, so that made him. Got to work, 7 people, alcohol day over, hangover and in the mood. Have a good day, we will. Was worried when Dawson went down for that amount of time. Yeah, because he never went, but it was a proper Bosch he got in the head. Hi Russ, I asked yesterday about your job at DJ and what we'll do. Yeah, I'll come back, let me start that, and if I've got time, Brad, if not, we'll do it Monday, I promise you. We'll do it. When did the foul throw rule change? I know. Russ said it. They didn't play the referee. The referee played that for them. Yeah, fair play. Let's go for any more comments. Everyone talk to each other. Bro, 50-50 decision. Can be a red, can be a yellow. So VAR won't reverse it because red is not clear and obvious. You're totally right. So the decision will remain as it is. Yeah, you're totally right. The only issue would have been, but it would have been the foul to the lead up, not necessarily the foul itself, but the passage of play. Same as the goal, actually, their second goal, the goal they scored. You look at Bowen gets injured, Bowen gets fouled, then the ball goes out, and then Tete crosses it in. If he hadn't, that's in the same phase of play. So there we go. Anyway, right, let's do the player ratings. So what we try and do is and again, this is just my views. You don't have to agree with them. Many of you always disagree with them. Not massive points across the board, I'll be honest, out of 10s. A lot of average scores, just as a general team as a whole. But that's just me. So we will start with, who should we start with? Let's start with the goalkeeper. Good idea. Areola. So my thoughts on Areola. Let's get my notes up. Where are my notes? I write little notes on the way home. Little voice notes. So we've got Areola. I mean, you couldn't blame him. You couldn't blame him for the goal. He got his hand to it, and it was unfortunate. He spilled a shot quite early on, which wasn't, maybe didn't get, Lyon came out all guns blazing, to be honest. I think his distribution yesterday was very poor. Several times he kicked it and he went to the halfway line almost, but he went about 3 miles up in the air. I don't know what he was doing. I've been quite harsh on him, I think. So we've got Ludders has got 7, James has got 6, did we could for their goal. 7, 7.5, no half points in this game. We've told you, Break Butcher. 7 for Areola. I put him actually down for a 6 because for me, it was like he did okay, but he didn't do anything. I mean, to be honest, he didn't have much to do. Let's be honest, he didn't have much to do. As just Brad said, it was a quiet and it was a dead game for him. He didn't really have any shots to take on. So 6, 7s, 8s. We are so much more confident in goal. I don't know we are, Scott. I'll be honest. I think it's about 50-50 because I mean Fabianski is Fabianski, and I think I feel quite assured whoever's in goal. To be honest, maybe I am too harsh on him. Maybe I am. It's his distribution, and I'd mark Fabianski down as well. I'm not in either camp. If I'm Fab or Areola, but yeah, a little bit flappy. 7.5, you wanker. Anyway, next, so he goes for a 6. Let's go to Mr. Fredericks. Obviously kept his place in the team, which I think surprised a few people. And I think that was partly because of pace. I think. He does kick the ball very high, doesn't he? Goes really, really high, pointlessly high. Because sure you want to go more of a trajectory. He's like there, and it drops where you want to. Anyway, I thought he's early on. He was pressuring Iowa. Got forward on occasions. Obviously tried to use his pace, and I think I'm really harsh on people today. I've got 8, 7 plus 7. Maybe I should have done this later. 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, 6. Could have done better with clearing the goal. Again, unfortunately, we were saying to Ludders as well. You know, she was saying the other day how many goals we get deflected. It was another one for me. 6. I've gone for a 6 as well. Because he had no one up front, bought time. Maybe 7. Where do we get these referees from? Clearly, the young player was playing to get Cresswell sent off. In my book, he's cheating and not fair play. He's quicker than Frankie Fredericks. Let's remember him, indeed. So I put down for 6 because I thought it was a good, okay game, solid. Didn't we do anything to warrant the high numbers? So I had him down for a 6. So that's what we got Areola for 6, Fredericks for a 6. Mr. Dawson. What can we say about Craig Bloody Dawson? Made a good block I think it's the first half on our shot. He won the ball in the air. Obviously had a bloody nose later on for sliding tackles. I think that was the biggest roar we had, I think, after the goal. And he just kept on going, didn't he? Kept on going. Now, looking at it, I think I've been a bit harsh. No, I don't know. What have we got? 7s, 9s, 10s. See, I don't think it warrants that high a score, I'll be honest. I'll be totally... But this is your opinion. Same as my opinion. Man of the match, I definitely agree it's the man of the match. Definitely man of the match. Got to say, I think we'll win with Johnson and Sufel next week over Fredericks and Masuaku. 8, 9... He's passing. He's surprisingly good at the moment. He's very good. I put him down. Now I put him down for a 7. Now don't shoot the messenger because I think I've marked everyone down slightly. Maybe I did this at the wrong time. Maybe because I did all these before as I was leaving. I was stuck in the Westfield car park for half an hour, so I was a bit pissed off. So I put him down for a 7 because I thought he was magnificent. But I thought he was really good. But I thought the team themselves maybe played at about 6 or 7. But that's me. Again, I think I've been a bit harsh on him, I'll be honest, but there we go. Better than Braze. Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe I've done these. Maybe I should have done in a cold light of day. Maybe I should have revisited these before I did it. But anyway, man of the match for me. I thought he was awesome. Zuma. Let's move into Zuma. I mean, to be honest, him and Dawson as a pairing had little to do. I thought, realistically, in terms of they commanded that box. I mean, they had hardly any shots anyway. He again for me. I think Dawson. It's funny. I literally said, but I thought Dawson showed him up. And I think, I know, magnificent, but you could be magnificent in a team that wasn't that. Yeah, Wally, shush. So I think Dawson showed him up. I didn't 5. I thought no, 5 warrants mistakes, and there's a couple of things I think he could have done better. I think he always tries to anticipate things, so he obviously anticipated that Cresswell was going to get there ahead of Dembele and sort of eased off a little bit, maybe ready for the pass back. But we got Zuma for 6, 8. Who would have thought £2 million? Indeed, 8 from James. Zuma, area distribution is good. A few times he kicked it at the end, and he turned around and shook his head. And I watched it, and he shook his head. He was like slicing it, and it's like he just kept on shaking his head. It frustrates me when you shake your head straight afterwards. Bonus point for Terry. Okay, yeah, fair play. We'll give Dawson an 8. All right. Zuma 7, 7 sevens, 7 7 6. Zuma isn't good as some people think. I think Zuma isn't as good playing on the left as he is on the right. That's the trouble. He's a right-sided centre back, so he's actually making do playing. I know he's only one side of the pitch, but your whole body position, Dawson, Zuma on his left is now going to be here. He has to favour his left, whereas here he's favouring his right, and he's better on his right. Always looks a little bit awkward, I think, when he's playing. But anyway, harsh is your name, certainly is today. Happy Friday, you little Chelsea boy. Anyway, gotta go. Cheers. Bloody hell, you're on your period. You know it. Sevens. I put him down for a 6 because I thought with Dawson, for me, Dawson was a 7, so he's going to be a 6. I thought Dawson was much better. I thought it was. In the last couple of games, he has been better. But I think he's been better because he's been the one making the challenges. Whereas Zuma tends to not challenge as much. That's just his game. He tends to hang back and will clear things up if Dawson doesn't go for it. So I don't think it's he did, but for me, it was just he had an okay game. So Cresswell. Aaron Cresswell. Obviously, devastated being sent off for the gentlest of pulls on an arm. Let's be fair, it's the gentlest of pulls. Referee decided it was a goal scoring opportunity, last man, and so sent him off. And I thought up until then he'd played all right. And played a couple of decent balls forward, was linking up well with Ben Rama. I thought he played okay. What we got here, Zuma is one of the 4 world-class players we have. I totally agree. 7, 6, 7, 6. That was a 5, by the way. I know it's a 5. 5, 6, 6. 5 harsh, but it was a red by the rules of the game. It was. Didn't notice him for the card. 5, 6. I thought Crest played all right, to be honest. Again, it's interesting in football. We see things differently. People see things differently. I thought until then, Crest was. I thought we were solid. They weren't really. It was a couple of times they got into the box, but it wasn't massively exciting on their part. I thought he did okay, and I thought it was linking up quite nicely with Ben Rama, overlapping, and so I had him down for a 6. I know he got sent off, but I thought he was playing well until then. I was gutted that he got sent off, and I need to check with someone, but I think isn't that the first sending off we've ever had in European football or something like that? Someone mentioned to me. I don't know exactly what it is. I need to check that out, but I heard it half on the end of a commentary. Yeah, maybe it has to be a 5, maybe, but to be honest, I don't think that was purely his fault. I think it's. I think Zuma had a little bit to blame on that. But Declan Rice. Obviously, I thought he managed the game very well from his perspective, knowing full well that a booking would have obviously meant he couldn't play in the second leg. So luckily that didn't happen. I think sometimes maybe midfield got a little bit overran a little bit. The thing about the Lyon midfield is very dynamic. It's very dynamic. So, in Dembele, and they had a lot of space, it seemed, in that central. It was almost like Rice was holding back a little bit more on the defensive side than he usually does. So there was a lot of space, sort of a gap, quite a big gap. So they seemed to be running quite a bit in there. Rarely out of position defensively, always was there or thereabouts. A couple of times gave the ball away, a little bit too casual. I think in the first half there was a little knockdown, he tried on his head and then bouncing off the floor. It was a little bit casual for Dex. For any other player, we would have brushed it off. But for Deck, it was like, oh, okay. We've got here sevens. What have we got here? Back by popular demand. Cheese salad roll from the bakery. It's all vinegar squares, picnic and a glass of lemonade. Very nice too. 7, 7, 7, but still world class. Yeah, check out Pyatt's goal. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Sevens, 7 discipline, 7, 7, sevens. Sevens, held back, sevens, 7.5. No half points, no points in this game. No decimal points. It's full numbers, please. Needs to get some mints to cheer him up. Indeed, sevens. I put him down for a 7 as well. 7, and that's a solid game. That's a solid game for Deck, isn't it? A 7. Just shows you how sort of classy he is. 7 gave the ball away a few times, just like over the week. Last cut, you're right. He has done, and whether it's, don't know, but he's just like, there's a couple of times where it wasn't enough, or he didn't put enough on it, but splitting hairs. So that's what I'm up to in the Rusty B selections. Next is Mr. Suchek. Right, what we got here? Come on, guys. It's because I'm being harsh. If you feel I'm being harsh on the points, give it a like, because I am being a bit harsh, I think, at the moment. Suchek, quiet. Another quiet game. Kept things sort of ticking over without making a huge impact defensively or in an attacking sense, I think. Acid Jokes put him for a 6. And I think similar score, I'll be honest. 6. Anonymous. Yeah, just didn't know he was there, really, to be honest. And sometimes that's a good player because he's not getting noticed, but he wasn't getting noticed in the attacking side, which is frustrating me. See, you still have all your hair. What's left of it after that windy day? It was very windy yesterday. 7, 7, 7, 6, 7s. 6, too many quiet games this season. I think he's just getting found out, James, to be honest. 5, 6, not his best, but still solid. Yeah, I agree. I put him down for a 6. I put it down for a 6. I thought it was a solid game. There was nothing to say, right, okay, you were crap or you were amazing. Where Deck is, for an average game, is a 7. For someone like Suchek, it's a 6. Sorry. If only Suchek could pass. Well, he's getting better. And they were trying to spread the play. Clearly, the first half, the idea was ping it out to Ben Rama, who's in a shitload of space, and take on the right fullback. And they did that quite a lot, but obviously it changed second half, didn't it? Right, so who's next? Fornals, the fornicator. It's very true. It's hard to judge a player when they're back going. You're totally right, mate. You're totally right. Fornals again did little wrong, really tireless. In the same way, unlike Suchek, who didn't really make any impact, just before his sheer energy, Fornals, I think, was all over the bloody place. And I thought he was really solid. 7, Pete's got 8, 7s. I think Fornals epitomises this team. Never give up attitude. I thought he was really good. 7s. Al Bolin, 8, 7s, and 7. I'm not going to put them up if you keep putting points, decimal places. Got really stuck in. Rice had to defend and scream, which they do best. Yep, 8, 7s. People don't appreciate Pabs. I totally agree. Gave the ball away, but was all over the place. Yeah, exactly. Fresh. So I think if he hadn't given the ball, and that's, I think, the only fly in the ointment with Fornals is his distribution sometimes lets him down. But he's so energetic that I can let that go because he's trying. And that's his whole team is trying. So I put him down for a 7. I just love it. Don't tell the wife, but I love Fornals more and more by the day. There we go. just tell everyone on the internet instead. Sevens, 8 and a 7 for Yardy. Right, so that's what we're up to the moment. Let's go and talk about Benny. We don't talk about Benny. No. Frustrating. Benny frustrates me. He does frustrate me. He's a fact, and he had our first chance of the game, really, when sort of ran that beautiful diagonal pass straight into Benny's feet, which he took really well on the run, and then sort of saved from sort of reasonably tight angle. Obviously, we had to, that was the game plan. Quite obviously, these diagonal balls to Benny to take on the right fullback. And obviously we got to cut the corners off the back of that. But obviously he was sacrificed at half time, really, to bring on another defender, which I thought was a shame. Benny 3? No, you're not that bad. Benny 6. Russ is the backroom wall for the players. A Banksy original. You know it. Total Banksy original. 3 and 7 in equal measures. 7, 6, 5. Benny very frustrating. 6. He does try and he nearly scored. I mean, last week he had, he was, and today, even for that half he played, tracking back a lot, trying to, if he lost the ball, he'd try and win it back. But yeah, gave away a few. I think everyone did, Gazza. I think there was a lot of nerves on that pitch, and quite, unexpectedly, quite expectedly, because he, for a lot of people, it's their biggest game they've ever played, their club game in their life. So I thought Benny was the same. Benjamin Rama 6, 5. The early text was beautiful. It was 6, being very generous. He's going in the sum of 4. I don't think he was that bad. I put him down for a 6 because I thought he offered something and there was a threat and a game plan. And clearly Moyes, if Moyes didn't rate him, he wouldn't have put him in. He'd have put him Vlasic in. With that, that game plan was clear. Give it diagonal. 0. Cool. Harsh, David. Harsh, my friend. Let's talk about Jared Bowen. Main man once again, as always. Good point. Benny's brilliant rubbish in the space of a minute. That's exactly what he is. 6. I'd rather keep Benny. He will improve. I think he will. I honestly think he will. He seems to be trying to mould him. The thing is, what I don't like to see is stifling creativity, and that's what he is. He's a very creative player, and unfortunately, that doesn't work in the Moyes system. I've said this before; it doesn't work in the Moyes system. So for me, I don't want, I want to go and watch. Really, I want to. If someone's a creative footballer, I want to go and see him be creative. I want to go and see him beat players and Rabonas, and because that's what we're in. That's being entertaining. Having someone then nullified to having to run back and try. That's not his style. So it's either going to be a make or break in the summer, innit? Whether he thinks he can commit himself to becoming that type of player, to fit in the Moyes system, or he goes elsewhere. I don't know, but that's a decision that they both have to make, I think. Right. But good goal. Obviously, he was in the right place at the right time. But I think up to then he's been quite quiet. I think, he's the main man, and I think Bowen's on fire and and they did a good, nice little free kick, like in the first half, the first kick where it went to Deck, and he just did this sort of pass, and no one touched it. If anyone had got anything on that ball as it whizzed through the box, it would have been a goal. So I thought that was quite clever. They'd obviously worked on that, knowing that full well that they thought we were going to put the corner right on the keeper's head and just pile in, but we didn't. I like that. I like it when things like work, when it actually works. I had him, obviously, we sort of roughly know the score for my score. Let's see what we put in the chat. 9s, 7s, 9, 8, 9, Hammer of the Year. He's becoming world class. 2 goals to his right foot now. Yeah, Jared's on fire. Bowen is our best player. First touch is the best in the squad. Amazing. 8. Bowen's on fire. He is. Under 21s are 1 down after 4 minutes. That's good to know. I had him as a 7. because I thought up till then he was quiet, and then he sort of came into the game a little bit when there was a bit more space. I think what I would have liked to have done is do what they were doing with Ben Rama. So when they were doing his diagonal balls, I'd have preferred them to do the diagonal balls maybe over to Bowen to cut into the. That's what he likes to do. He likes to cut it from the wing and cut into the box. But he was quite well marked, I thought, and with him and Fredericks, they just don't have. I think him and Johnson click better than him and Fredericks. That sort of right side. That's just my opinion, but that's what I thought. Richard Osman quits pointless. Wow. Oh my goodness. Mental. Sevens, yep. Benny's very inconsistent. Sheer brilliance of Bud Parr. But he's an enigma player, isn't he? He's an enigma. More of an impact player. I think impact is, but I think it's difficult when you're the type of player that Benny has, because you need a run of games to get yourself into that sort of. You can't come in and go right off you go. The way those impact players are like when they brought on Tete, he was an impact player because he's just pace, and that's what he is: pace, and I think that's what you really need. We don't have the left-footed player to do it. Yeah, you're totally right. Right, escort or Tao Antonio. I think he had a shot in the first half, 15, 20 minutes in. There was a low shot blocked, so he sort of broke through the defence. Looked quite isolated second half, naturally, because he would have done. Obviously, had a vital role in the goal, in Bowen's goal. Then there was that shot in the second half. Ball goes across. Was it Fornals? Fornals down the left wing. Sees Antonio. No, I think it's Bowen. Was it Bowen? Yeah. And then I think Fornals was running into the middle. Antonio was on the far side. Lovely ball from Bowen all the way to Antonio, and he sort of jumps over the keeper, and that really not wound me up. But if he got anything on that, it would have been, or even if he got the ball first, keeper would have taken him out. It would have been a penalty. Well, probably wouldn't be with this ref, but you know what I mean. So that really did frustrate me a bit. Sevens. Tete's a baller, he is. 8, random 2 to 8, whatever. That's a bit of Excel joke for me and James. 7, 6, 7, 7. 8, Reggae Man 6, should have gone off after 65 minutes, but for who? I suppose if you brought on Yarmolenko, he would have just stayed central. Actually, Antonio was probably the best type of player to have on in that sort of isolation role, so to speak, in the second half, because he will just run the channels. And that's what you sort of need. Afternoon, Martin, Mark, hope you well. Can't handle Antonio, they certainly can't. But slightly more, I just thought that Lyon are for the taking defensively. They're shambles defensively. It's so true what people are saying. They're like a bit like Leeds, and they are. Some lovely football, but they just fall apart at the back. They just fall apart. Can't wait to see Lanzini next week. Hopefully, well, I mean, you listen to Moyes' pre-match press conference for the Brentford game. Talks about Lanzini still suffering a little bit from knocks from the car crash. We'll see. It might have been Fornals. You might have been right. Fornals. But then who's in the middle? I thought it was Bowen, and I can't remember. Was on fire, but he still loses the ball cheaply. Had plenty of games, and he's not improving. Still makes some mistakes. He does, but it's because he's trying things. I think 7 at most. Ref wasn't the only one last night. The Lions have missed at least 2 offsides. Kept his feet on the ground instead of jumping. He might have got a pen. That's what I mean. He would have got a pen. Antonio was man of the match, fair enough. I'd like to see a 4-4-2. He's well gone, he certainly is. Still annoyed we didn't sign a jet. Well, we've done there, innit? Antonio I put down for a 6. Not his worst, not his best. But I thought he did okay. But again, you know, as he said, he could have, a decent striker would have probably done a better shot in that first half. And just jumping in out of the way. I mean, he's a big lad. Do you know what I mean? He's a big lad. So that's what we've got so far. And then Benny Boy Johnson. Obviously, Johnson comes on second half straight away. On the half time, goes left back. Then they bring on Tete. And I thought Johnson did okay. Honestly, I thought he came on and, you know, for such a young bloke as well, the pressure of the situation, 10 men, European Cup, quarterfinals, Lyon are a seasoned European side. These guys 2 years ago were, in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? These aren't mugs. They are European, they're part of the European, syndicate, aren't they, really? They're always in there qualifying. And apart from this year, if they don't win the Europa, they're not going to qualify at the moment for anything, unless they kick their arse in gear. But I thought Johnson came on, and I thought he was solid. Obviously, I think I read one report that he only completed one pass yesterday. But then, not being funny, every ball he had to lump it and kick and just lump it away, just to clear it, just to clear the ball. There was no passes on usually. It was about clearing the ball. What have we got here? Johnson 8. I'm surprised we've done very well without reinforcements. Me too. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off as much as it would. Do you know what I mean? But 8. 6 stood off Tete for the goal. He did. Yeah. I mean, that's my only criticism. He got quite easily beaten for that goal. But Tete he's got such acceleration from a standing start point. A bit like Ryan Fredericks does. There's a couple of times in the first half where Ryan Fredericks was almost standing still and beat a man from a standing start. Just, he's the same type of acceleration. 6, 7, 7, 8. Boris Johnson 6. 6, from Frank was 7. Wally was 6. If Moyes gets a striker lacking pace, we're going to struggle if he does not buy fast midfielders. We'll talk about spending and money and stuff like that this afternoon at Hammers Headlines. A lot of fans don't appreciate what Antonio does for the team. It's funny how the opposition fans think he's our best player apart from Rice. Well, they do, because they see how much he batters them, and all we see is him losing the ball. But when he turns, when Antonio's got a touch in him and touches it and controls it and turns and runs, defenders are scared of him. They are. Because he's a battering ram. And when he's on it, there's no one who can compete with him. Meant to say 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. I prefer him on the left. I prefer him on the right, I'll be honest, James, but he's going to be playing left. And I think Moyes sees him as a left back as well, I think, to be honest. 7. All of a sudden, our balls are bouncing off players and going to the opposition too much. We said that, lads, and that was Fredericks in the deflection which led to the goal. Bloody Tete should be down the pitch, yeah. That right back looks special. Very, very quick, wasn't he? Very, very quick. Who was the bloke who put his head... Who was that bloke who put his head into Fredericks' head? I think that was Dembele, and then he tried to get a bloody penalty out of it or something like that. Oh, shouldn't have got Tete, who's outside the transfer window. Thank you, Premier League. Otherwise, we'd have probably had him. 6. Put him down as a 6. So that's the Russie B harsh ratings. As they are quite harsh, I admit. But that's just me. And you got your opinions. I got mine. Just like we've all got arseholes. We've all got one. We choose to use it. Also special shout out to the fans. I thought the fans were brilliant yesterday. Just seeing all those fans there. Just all those fans, you can just about hear everything through the and that's through my glass. That's that's through my soundproof box. I can hear them all. Absolutely brilliant West Ham fans were yesterday. All for that the game. They really had a good go. Emerson was the left back. Emerson did the header, or was it Vlasic 10 for the Speedy Gonzalez later on? No point. The poorest. I agree with some people on here. The poorest referee in decisions they've seen. I think it was. Right, ladies and gents, that's me done for the day. We've got Hammers Headlines coming up at 5 o'clock, where we're talking about the referee of last night. We'll talk about summer spending, another name that's been added to the vast list of people that we're going to be signing in the summer. And that's it. And then I think Anton will be back tomorrow for the preview for the Brentford game, and there'll be the watch along and the highlight show and all that malarkey, because we're back in the Premier League. It's Premier League again now, and it's crazy. Last few comments, and then we'll skedaddle. Atmosphere wasn't as good as Seville, but still good. I agree, and I think the reason is it's a different type of atmosphere. It was very nervous. You could sense that. It's a different type of atmosphere where it's a second leg. being the first leg. So that's why I saw it. Chili pasta last night, done me in. Never again. Sad times. Let's hope we get Brentford. We stop Brentford from buzzing on Sunday with the old bees. Someone launched a coin at the second pit. Did anyone see it? Was if it connected? Yeah, I saw. I didn't see it. I could see there's plenty of things being thrown, and then I think afterwards was it Noble and Yama were like kicking all the bottles out of the way, and yeah. Anyway, we need 5 players. I think we need 10 players, to be honest. The squad size and depth we need at the moment, but we'll see. All right, and ladies and gents, if you're new around here, say give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Maybe become a channel member. We'll be doing next week. We'll do our first draw for our monthly member draws. Sort of the raffles. That'll be done on probably Monday. So what we'll do is on Monday, anyone who's subscribed to become a member over the weekend will get added to that list. But on Monday will be a cut-off point, and then we'll do the draw for the first round. And every month from then on, whoever is a channel member will go into a monthly draw to win some signed memorabilia, some signed stuff, all West Ham's related, obviously, and not like me and Anton signing, but actually stuff signing it. Yeah, that's lovely. What's for lunch? I don't know yet. Don't know. The important questions, I don't know, mate. Don't know, my friend. So as always, I'd like to thank all our channel members at the end of each of my shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay lucky, stay cheeky. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Take care.
It's like a family tree, all of you.